Red alert! Red alert! Temporal anomaly detected on Earth 199999. Location: Westview. As Wanda Maximoff's powers grow further, reality itself bends more to her whim. Time has shifted multiple times in an instance. Thousands of minds have been wiped and replaced with her grief. If not stopped, what is known as the Westview Anomaly could grow, covering the entire planet. That's where we step in. The Time Variance Authority. However, the TVA being involved may have opened a whole new can of worms, as it looks like Loki is taking matters into his own hands. Is Loki really in Westview? And more importantly, WandaVision? According to our favorite theorist on Reddit, TheMediocreCritic, Loki very well might be. According to his theory, the anomaly that currently exists in Westview would fall under the TVA's jurisdiction. And as we know, Loki is currently working for the TVA for his freedom. While we have yet to see what unfolds in the upcoming Disney Plus show, we can speculate that as Loki travels the multiverse, he will be taking the identities of others to fit in. Loki would disguise himself as a sword agent and infiltrate the ongoing investigation. However, sending Loki into something as chaotic as the Westview Anomaly isn't a wise choice on the TVA's part. Something we need to point out is that this version of Loki isn't the one who turned hero. This Loki is from 2012, the one who tried to rid the world of the Avengers by releasing an army of Chitauri soldiers. The Loki of this time always had another plan, leading to the God of Mischief's ultimate victory. In this case, that victory is his release from the TVA. Now, there aren't any Easter eggs that prove Loki is poking his head around in WandaVision, but there are some weird coincidences that back this theory, one being the introduction of the X-Men's Quicksilver, but we'll get to that soon. The other coincidence is the sole sword agent who tunneled his way through the sewers, only to come face to face with Wanda on the other side. We never see what the fate is for the sword agent. According to the Mediocre Critic, this, my friends, is Loki.
This is madness.
However, due to his own magic, Loki is immune to Wanda's reality warping abilities. So Loki's quote-unquote vanishing is Loki disappearing into the shadows, and what he saw next would launch his scheme for escape and doom the multiverse. As Loki is immune from the effects of Wanda's warp on reality, this would mean he would also be able to see behind the curtain to the truth that is Westview, and more importantly, the reality that Vision isn't really alive. As we saw in episode 3, Vision is still nothing more than a grayed out empty shell, and this is what drives Wanda to do what she's doing. As long as she's in her bubble, she can live a normal life. She can have Vision. For Loki, this is all he needs to know, which ties back to our other coincidence, the introduction of X-Men's Quicksilver. This, my friends, is Loki. Let me explain. Through his observations, Loki would overhear Wanda's anguish over the loss of her brother. Loki has never seen the MCU version of Quicksilver, but through his multiverse travels has come across the Quicksilver played by Evan Peters. In order to gain Wanda's trust, Loki disguised himself as Pietro, and Wanda opened the door. Loki's plan is now in action. As we heard in episode 5, Wanda apparently has zero idea what is really going on in Westview, and that she's its cause. Rather than the truth, Loki lies and tells her that everything that's happened is because of the TVA. Loki, disguised as Pietro, would tell her that the Time Variance Authority trapped her in Westview and has also forced him into labor in exchange for his release. This information would move Wanda to want to take action, but she knows deep down, leaving means leaving Vision behind. In a previous video of ours, we mentioned how Loki would be tracking down the Infinity Stones as he travels the multiverse. Actually, in one shot of the Loki trailer, we can see that he has the scepter containing the Mind Stone. In order to fully manipulate Wanda into helping him, Loki would offer the Mind Stone, essentially Vision's life, for her help to take down the TVA. If this theory holds up, then we can assume that Loki's Disney Plus show will focus on his initial adventures with the TVA, cross over at some point with the events we are seeing now in WandaVision, and then proceed with his search for the Mind Stone. By the end of the show's run, the TVA will meet its destruction. Loki will be free, and Wanda will have Vision returned to her. What we need to focus on now is the consequences of Loki's and Wanda's selfish actions. With the destruction of the TVA, the MCU loses the multiverse's mightiest hero, leaving the door wide open for Kang the Conqueror to poke his head right in. Throughout the comics, Kang has been at war with the TVA for more years than I can count, as well as laid waste to many timelines. Also, with each timeline Kang touches, a new reality is created, and a new alternate version of Kang is created to deal with. A council of Kangs doing as they please across all reality could be the madness that exists in Doctor Strange's second film, what Ant-Man will face as rumored in Quantumania, and what leads to the collapse of the multiverse. Which will be great for us, because that means we will actually get the X-Men in the MCU, and possibly the rumored Spidey team-up. Oh, Marvel, just give us what we want. We interrupt this broadcast with a special message from the TVA. Be on the lookout for the God of Mischief who escaped our custody weeks ago. At this point in time, he could be disguised as anyone. Your best friend, your neighbor, or even you. Anyways, thanks for watching.